The modern helicopter, like any complex machine, is an accumulation of innovations from numerous inventors and engineers. The defining characteristic of a helicopter is its ability to hover at any point during a flight. To achieve hovering, it must maintain the aircraft in nearly motionless flight over a reference point at a constant altitude. Hearing this may sound easy, but it requires tremendous experience and skill. On the program today, the helicopter and flying management is our interest. Welcome to Aviation This Week on Channels Television. I'm Bukola Jo Ketumbi. Our flight is set for takeoff.
The Focke-Wulf FW-61 was the first helicopter to operate in 1936. Six years after a man called Igor Sikorsky changed the face of production of these vertical machines, reaching about 131 aircraft. The ability of helicopters to move laterally in any direction or rotate 360 degrees makes them exciting to fly. But piloting one of these machines requires great skill and dexterity. Helicopters are a type of rotorcraft in which lift and thrust are supplied by rotors. This allows the helicopter to take off and land vertically, to hover, fly forward, backward, and laterally. It's all these attributes that give helicopters their versatility, and that's why they can be used in congested or isolated areas where fixed-wing aircraft cannot operate.
Helicopter is a unique mode of transportation. One mode of transportation that can go to where no other machine can go to. And it has the unique feature. One thing about helicopter is different from the rest of aircraft categories is that it can land at a non-airport. You can go to a remote location. You can go to a place where nobody has ever been before, and you can still land. And you have the possibility of vertical takeoff, meaning you can take off vertically. You don't need an airport to take off. You can take off from anywhere you have enough space to accommodate the size of helicopter you're flying.
Beyond this, helicopters are also used to combat wildland fires. As air ambulances for emergency medical assistance in situations when an ambulance cannot easily reach the scene. Let's take a look at the main parts of this aircraft. First, the fuselage. This is the main body of the helicopter, and in many models, a frameless plastic canopy surrounds the pilot and connects in the rear to a flush riveted aluminium frame. Aluminium helps make helicopters lighter and as a result easier to fly. The cyclic pitch lever. A helicopter pilot controls the pitch or angle of the rotor blades with two inputs, the cyclic and collective pitch levers, often just shortened to the cyclic and the collective. The collective or stake comes out of the floor of the cockpit and sits between the pilot's legs, enabling a person to tilt the craft to either side or forward and backward. The ability of helicopters to move laterally in any direction or rotate 360 degrees makes them exciting to fly. The pilot in one of these machines requires great skill and dexterity.
Airplane will run on the taxiway, get airborne, get to cruise flight, get to where it is going to, descend, and then land and taxi to the position. The helicopter doesn't do just that. The helicopter does all that, plus a lot of things like vertical takeoff and vertical landing and hover. You can do a rock solid hover and stay one place and observe an environment for as long as you want, as long as you have enough fuel to do. And these are the things about helicopters that airplanes cannot do. And then you can virtually do anything you want to do with helicopter. As far as going by air is concerned, you have no restrictions. The restriction will just be on the capability of that particular equipment and the pilot in question, his level of understanding and training and capability.
But this equipment achieves what's been designed to do with these parts. The main rotor blade, which performs the same function as an airplane's wings, providing lift as the blades rotate. Lift being one of the critical aerodynamic forces that keeps aircraft aloft. The stabilizer. This sits above and across the main rotor blade. Its weight and rotation dampen unwanted vibrations in the main rotor, helping to stabilize the craft in all flight conditions. A rotor mast, also known as a rotor shaft. The mast connects the transmission to the rotor assembly. The mast rotates the upper swash plate and the blades. Transmission. Just as it does in a vehicle, a helicopter's transmission transmits power from the engine to the main and tail rotors. And the engine, which generates power for the aircraft. Early helicopters used reciprocating gasoline engines, but modern helicopters use gas turbine engines like those found in commercial airliners. All of these contribute to make the helicopter unique in nature.
An experienced pilot is our guest, and he takes us through what it takes to maneuver this vertical machine in flight.